This is Miguel. He's the founder and CEO of VBS IT Services, which empowers nonprofits with best-in-class technology solutions so they can operate at peak performance. And he's helped over 400 businesses in the last 20 years. He's been a little busy. And he's an expert at remote working and has been managing a can-do attitude of remote employees since 2007. And he's a CRM guru. I'm really excited to hear from him. So I'm going to turn it over to him and let him go.
Thank you very much. Can everyone hear me fine?
I'm getting a Miguel is seen and heard. Yes, 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 yes.
Beautiful. All right. Well, first of all, I want to say thank you for joining me. I really appreciate that you took the time to be here and listen to my presentation. I'm going to make this a little fast for you because we have limited time in how much we can spend on our presentation. So without further ado, I am going to start. So the agenda today is we're going to talk about what is CRM and why do you need it. I'm going to show you a customer journey that is going to help you visualize how this tool would help your organization and how it manages everything from one single system. Please feel free to ask questions in the question and answer section on your right-hand side, I believe. So a little bit more about us. As mentioned, we help organizations succeed by operating at peak performance, and that's by leveraging CRM automation. So we are going to be talking about Zoho CRM, which is integrated with various different applications such as RingCentral for a phone system, Office 365, Google Suite, plus it has 40 of its own applications that I won't get a chance to go into it, but I'll give you some insight on it. We also help organizations maintain their infrastructure, IT infrastructure, reliable and secure with managed IT services. And in addition, we do cyber security protection, monitoring, and training. So I quite like this saying. I have discovered that the best innovation is sometimes the way that you organize the company. So in organizing the company, you essentially need systems. You need people, processes, and systems. We're going to talk about the systems. And the word system itself has an acronym as well, which stands for Save You Serious Time and Energy and Money. So think about that. So let's talk about what is CRM. CRM is Customer Relationship Management. That's what the acronym stands for. And it's essentially software that helps organizations manage customers or donors, prospects and suppliers, etc. It's a centralized database that everyone has access to. And of course, you can make it secure so that if people can't see or shouldn't see certain data, that can be arranged. There are notes, tasks, appointments, emails, basically everything that has to do with that particular contact is stored in a centralized database. So it is easy to access and anybody can see where things were left off last. You can obviously see customer service history, documents and procedures, and manage marketing campaigns. So why do you need a CRM system? If you need marketing automation to generate new business, that's where a CRM system really helps. If you have opportunities that are being lost and you're not sure why, this was another thing that CRM can help you with. If you have no automated system to track people's activities, effectiveness, or even accountability, then you need a CRM system. Or if you are not leveraging automation in your business or business intelligence to grow your organization, again, CRM really helps in that. Or if you need to create a culture with a sense of community to better communicate and collaborate with all your teams, this is a powerful feature within a CRM system, especially today where people are working in so many different locations and not necessarily all in one place. CRM benefits. Let's talk a little bit about the staggering growth of CRM. CRM is now at the heart of about 91% of businesses with over 11 employees. So, if you're not one of these organizations, you're missing out on some of the benefits. The average ROI for CRM is $8.71 for every dollar spent on a CRM system. CRM increases sales by up to 29%, improves productivity by up to 34%, and boosts forecast accuracy by 40%. CRM is also known to improve customer retention by as much as 27%. So you can see there's a lot of benefits to having a CRM system in your organization. So how are you running your day today? And the word that comes to mind quite often is chaos. Chaos because you have on average about 12 applications that you're managing for, office productivity, email, collaboration such as Zoom, email marketing, project management, all of these applications that you're switching back and forth from, and they don't talk to each other, and they all are essentially in silos. They're completely separate. So unfortunately, because of that, the customer experience suffers. It takes a little longer to get the information and to manage provide the customer with what they need. And there's a way that we can change that. So let's talk a little bit about Zoho CRM. Zoho is a CRM system with about 40 different applications that are built into the system to help you sell smarter, faster, serve better, and to automate. Zoho has won many awards throughout the years, and it's a great product that people really love to use. So a little bit about the apps. The apps are focused on sales, marketing, support, collaboration, and communication as well. There's e-commerce, accounting that's built right in, so you don't need a separate accounting package. HR also that's built in, and mail. So, and document management, and a lot more. So in terms of managing your nonprofit, there is a donor and volunteer portal that allows you to manage events, market events, allows you to collect donations and know exactly who made those donations. So it's all part and parcel of the application. Let's talk a little bit about workflow automation. This is really where a CRM system can optimize your organization and help to streamline the processes, reduce the amount of time that it takes, because you can automate things like sending email notifications, assigning tasks, or updating certain fields within a record. All kinds of automation that can be built into it. And in addition, Zoho has what's called blueprinting, which further enhances the process by including questions as part of the process that you need to ask, or documentations that you need to send out. I really quite like this. Productivity is not just about doing more, it's about creating more impact with less work. And that's really the power of automation. So now I'm going to take you through a process where you are essentially looking for leads to build your organization, creating different types of campaigns to generate interest and to lead into the buying process. So let's start with ads. So if you were going to promote an event, you'd likely run some ads, maybe on Google Ads or perhaps on Facebook, and it can all be managed right within the system. You receive leads directly into the CRM, so there's no double data entry. The process is completely automated, and you can measure your performance and see the performance in real life, which is very important, because what you want to do is monitor that performance and make adjustments as you need to optimize your campaign. Of course, you're also going to use social. Social media is a big way to get the word out, and you need a platform to manage that, which is included in the 40 applications. You can schedule posts, you can monitor engagement, you can interact with your followers, and you can even promote those interactions or those particular contacts into an actual lead right into your CRM. Of course, you're also going to use email marketing. Email is a great way to get a message out, to help you build traffic to a particular landing page, etc. So it's all built into the system. Zoho has its own Zoho Campaigns platform. Think of it like, Campaigns or Constant Contact or MailChimp or others that are similar. But because it's integrated into the CRM system, you don't have to export all your contacts and upload it into a separate application. Everything is synchronized within the database, so there's no need to, upload or download contacts. Of course, you can use templates that are built right into it. There's a large template library. You can create your campaigns, schedule the delivery. There are different options of scheduling the delivery. You can schedule it based on optimal time, or you can schedule it based on a particular specific time, or even, time zone of the individual. So lots of functionality that built right in. Of course, when you deliver the campaign, you can see the results live and start generating those leads. And by the way, the Zoho platform is obviously, cloud-based and can be managed through a browser, but it also can be managed through a smartphone. So there are applications for your smartphone to manage your system. So let's talk about landing pages, because this is a great way to promote an event. And what you're seeing on the screen here is essentially a landing page that we created using Zoho Sites. We created the page within the platform, and then we promoted that page through social media, through ads, through email, just as I've shown you in the previous slides. And this is all part of the platform. So you do not need a separate platform for creating landing pages. It's super easy to use. There's again a huge, large template gallery. You can add videos, pictures, forms, and of course, it is a great way to promote webinars, workshops, training, maybe even internal events. And so if you were doing, let's say, a webinar and promoting it through a landing page, the awesome thing is that Zoho includes meetings, which is part of the platform, so you do not need any other type of meeting platform. It's built right in. It allows you to collect registrations. There is a registration page that, again, because it's all integrated, it pushes the registration data right into the CRM system so that you don't have to double data entry. And, meetings are a great way to promote, a product, to, in other words, demonstrate products, or to help educate your followers so that they build trust in you, and that you can, continue to build on that relationship to eventually convert them into customers. So Zoho has marketing automation built right in. The app is called Marketing Hub, and you can create essentially drip campaigns, or you might call them journeys. And it automates the marketing, whereby it sends automatic emails. You can also create, part of the process could be a phone call, or sending specific information, whatever you want to incorporate into the journey. It can be done right within the application. Marketing ROI is really important to track, because you want to know what marketing campaigns are working well for you and which ones are not. So you can manage that on the fly, real time, right within Zoho itself. Of course, the system allows you to create deals, and maybe you need to send out a quote, maybe you don't, it doesn't matter. By creating deals, it allows you to track what opportunities you have in the pipeline, so to speak, and to be able to do forecasting of revenue, so that you understand where you're headed. So really, really important. Zoho also has a collaboration tool, which is awesome. It's called Zoho Click. Think of it like a combination of, I guess, Microsoft Teams and Slack, for example. So it allows you to do a lot of the same things, but it's all integrated into the platform. So it leverages contacts that you already have in the system. And it's a collaboration tool that allows you to make calls or video calls, as well as, online meetings, shared documents, also, instant messaging, of course. And, it allows you to also create channels so that you can use it as an intranet to promote, things that are going on in the organization. So very cool application. And, especially in these days where people are working from many different locations, this is a powerful tool to allow your team to communicate and collaborate. You want to manage other applications and integrate them into the system. Integration is a powerful thing. So what I'm showing here is integration into our RingCentral phone system. It is fully integrated so that I can do things like click to dial, saves you some time on, manually dialing those numbers. I mean, we've become so lazy at these things that any little thing can be very helpful in improving productivity. So click to dial is a feature that is very useful, but also on incoming calls, essentially a pop-up comes up, as you can see on the right hand of the screen, and it forces you to essentially enter notes about your conversation, which then are logged in the system as an activity so that you can track, what was discussed on those calls, etc. The system integrates with email, calendar from Office 365, as well as G Suite. You can also integrate it into SMS text messaging, and even lead services can be integrated into the system. So what we want to do is we want to take that chaos that we talked about earlier with all those different apps that none of them speak to each other, and we want to integrate them so that they all work with each other, so that there's one single login, which is a big thing, saves you a lot of time and having to flip back from applications and log into them. And we want to take that chaos and create order. So that's really the objective in getting a CRM system. And I hope that I've given you some ideas and helped you visualize how that can actually happen. So obviously I don't have a lot of time to get into the nitty-gritty of a system and to actually show you how it all works, but I would love the opportunity to do that. And if you're interested, you can register for a free CRM assessment consultation call. On this call, it's going to take about 30 to 40 minutes. I'm going to ask you a whole bunch of questions about how you operate your organization. I'm going to use a Zoho form to collect all that data. Forms are included in part of the app. And at the end of it, I'm going to have a good idea of how you operate your organization and how this particular CRM system can help you. So as a bonus, you'll also receive a free ebook specific to nonprofits. It's essentially a guide on how to automate and make your processes more efficient. So if you're interested, please go to vbsitservices.net/CRM and go ahead and register for that session. Now, if you're not ready to do that, that's all right. Reach out to me and ask me any questions that you might have. I'm always open to talk about technology. I love talking about technology. I'll probably end up talking your ear off, but reach out to me and ask me whatever questions. You've got my email here and my phone number as well. So that concludes my presentation. And so now let's go on to questions. Anyone have any questions?
Well, this is Jane, and I actually had a question. I manage a lot of volunteers. Does this system allow volunteers to update their own information, or is that something that a staff person would have to do for the volunteers, such as new address or what they've accomplished, etc.?
Very good question, Jane. And the answer is yes. There is a portal that you can provide access to volunteers as well as donors, by the way. And they can have access to that kind of information to submit questions, to modify their contact information, and also to see, things like, for example, what events are going on, or what are the latest news that has been shared. So yes, it's very easy to do that.
Ooh, that's a big one for, I know, for me and for a lot of organizations that involve volunteers. So thank you. Someone has asked, is Zoho comparable to other CRM softwares such as Salesforce or Nation Builder?
Okay, so Salesforce is the biggest competitor. There is some, similarity. CRM to a great extent, some of the logic is very similar across the board with different apps. However, to get the functionality that you would get from Zoho with all of the different apps and all the different capabilities, including, marketing automation, it would be outrageously expensive to go with a Salesforce solution. And so I think, Salesforce does offer some benefits to nonprofit organization, but there are some limitations there, as I'm sure some people know. So you'll get a lot more value out of Zoho because of the various different applications to manage your entire organization.
And then I don't think we're going to have time for this. We only have 5 more minutes or 4 more minutes, but Jesse asks, he thanks for the presentation and says, can you give an example of a customer journey for an organization seeking to build engagement early on when building content for a blog, say?
Okay. So if you're building content for a blog, let's say that you don't have the blog, platform yet, you could use Zoho Sites for blogging. But if you already have it, that's fine too. And you would essentially use, some of the apps that I mentioned earlier to drive traffic to your blog and create, interest using either social media, email marketing, as well as, I think that would be probably sufficient. SEO can be built into the blog article as well, so you can get some organic traffic. And, I think that will probably help you build that interest in the blog and get the message out. I hope I've answered your question.
And could you also post again, someone's asking about signing up for a consultation. You have access to there you go. And I've also put that same URL in the chat so you can actually just click on it. So great. And
Okay.
if I am a 5-man nonprofit, will Zoho? I think the question is Zoho something that I would want? I know that you say you're a 5-man nonprofit, Johnny, but how many volunteers do you have? So if you're 5-man but 100 volunteers, now we're talking, need for content management.
Well, I can give some insight there. Excuse me. I think personally, in my opinion, every organization should have a CRM system. It's very difficult to stay organized without some kind of a database. So I highly recommend that regardless of the size of your organization, that you should use a CRM system and some best practices to manage your processes. And that's where, again, a system comes in handy. So in terms of, managing 5 people, it's not just about the 5 people, as you alluded, Jane. It's also, the donors, the volunteers that you have to be managing. Typically organizations manage all this through an Excel sheet, which is not an ideal way of doing it. Really, you need to take advantage of some technology that can help you put reports together, for example, as to, what is occurring in your organization, how many donors, how much are they donating, how many volunteers, what are their strengths to the organization, what are their skills. All of that information needs to be managed within a system, and that's where Zoho is really going to shine and help you.
I'll absolutely second that. I've been working for nonprofits preceding software, and we kept it all on index cards. CRMs are great, and you absolutely do need them. And CRMs sure are easier than the index cards.
You could easily lose your index cards, and data within the CRM system is never going to get lost.
Inshallah, you're exactly right.
Yeah.
So, gosh, thank you. That was terrific, and you were so responsive on questions. I think everybody really appreciated that.